Mark, what'd you feel from your team in that massive run to start the third quarter?
Great, great stuff out of halftime. Great job resetting. You just got to know against a team that plays with that kind of pace and like reckless abandon, and they do it relentlessly. That's their character. That it's going to be kind of a roller coaster of a game, and you got to have the mental toughness to go up 10, down 10, have them hit some tough shots, obviously, which they did, and just kind of stay true to your possession game. And I thought in the second half, for sure, we did that. And I thought it was a good mental test for us on a back-to-back. And like I said, with the way the game went, to emerge from that with a win was positive.
Yeah, you've mentioned individual guys like Dort having the requisite amnesia that you need when tough shots get made. Do you feel like the team has developed that over time? This isn't the first time that you've sustained, a massive three-point shooting night and found ways to win the game.
Yeah, and that was the other night against Philly, too. They made some really tough shots in the first half of that game, and what can happen is you get distracted by that, and you start to fray on all the things that you can control and that you need to do to still win the game and to still play well. And I thought for the most part we did that tonight. I mean, certainly not all the shots they made were lucky. I mean, a lot of those were earned. A lot of those were a result of the style that they play. And they got the best of us in a large portion of the game. But I did like our mental toughness. I thought we did a good job of just hanging in there with the game.
Games like tonight and last night where the game needs a swing after halftime, what's that self-accountability like for the group from your point of view?
At the half? Yeah, I think it's, it starts with knowing your identity as a team, not because you stay in character the whole time. I mean, it's an 82-game season. It's a 48-minute game. It's a lot of basketball to stay at an optimal level. But when you know who you are, then you can reconnect to that more quickly, and when you're not there. And I think that's been kind of the mark of the last two nights. We haven't been perfect. It hasn't been a masterpiece, but we kind of know who we want to be, and when we're not there, we've done a good job in-game of reconnecting to that in both the Philly game yesterday and the Atlanta game tonight.
Only 2 offensive rebounds for the Hawks in the second half. What did you like about the effort that you guys gave on that in that specific area? Yeah,
it was a problem in the first quarter for sure. So we did a good job, and especially with Hart out, a lot of Chet at the 5 lineups, a lot of small lineup tonight, and we did a good job of getting all 5 guys in there and cleaning up those plays.
Mark, I was just curious about your thoughts on just the volume of threes the Hawks took tonight. Took 54 threes. Just wondered what you thought of that.
Yeah, it's kind of like, what they do. Like they're coming down and ripping those shots. I mean, Okongwu shot 10 of them the other night, and Alexander Walker shoots them freely. Veets shooting the ball great. It's impressive how he's playing. They don't hesitate. It's a credit to the environment they have around those guys. They're confident and aggressive, that team. And they really don't flinch regardless of what's going on in the game. I thought they were very impressive tonight with the way that they played all the way through the 48 minutes, and so were we. But it's a credit to them. It's the way they play. It's the pace they play with, not only in the full court, but in the half court. And they keep the foot on the gas the whole game. And it's difficult to play against.
What have been some of the challenges, like cumulatively, of like a shortened off season, a condensed schedule, and the injuries kind of all hitting at once? Now that we're kind of near the midway point, have you noticed anything?
Look, it's an NBA season. It's 82 games. It's hard for everybody. Every team deals with injuries. Every team deals with a condensed schedule. Every team deals with a tough schedule. Every team deals with bad officiating nights. Every team deals with shot variance. Every team deals with luck. And you want to be a team that doesn't become helpless and see all those things as excuses and become a victim. You want to be a team that can focus on what you can control. That's ultimately how you build confidence, is when you look at those things and you say, those exist, but they are a challenge, and there's plenty that we can control, and we've got a team that's got that mindset. And when you overcome those things, then it builds your mental toughness, builds your confidence, and you get better. And I think that's what's happened with our team.
And a number of guys, I mean, Shai, kind of the constant guy, but you came out of a time where you were up 4, and I guess it may have been call play, where Shai hits Alex Cruz in the corner for a big 3. And I know it's a couple games ago, but he had just a tough shooting night against the Spurs, corner threes in particular. He hits the big 3, then he later gets a big steal, lob dunk for another play. Some key plays to help you win tonight. He's kind of, just kind of wipes his mind clean of a tough shooting night. Seems like.
Yeah, I mean he's such a competitor. You know, he's such a pro. You know, the thing about he shot the ball poorly in the Spurs game. The thing about that one is he started 0 for 8 and he shot 12 of them. And there's not a lot of competitors out there that would shoot the 7th and the 8th and the 9th and the 10th and the 11th and the 12th. You know, and you have to be pretty mentally tough, and you also just have to be lost in the competition. He knows those are the right shots for the team. He doesn't care about the fact that the last one didn't go in, and he just keeps shooting them. And that to me, the whatever he was on Christmas, that's why he's a great competitor, not because he turned around and made him tonight. He made him tonight because he keeps shooting him on Christmas. So great competitor, great mental toughness. And he was huge, obviously, for us down the stretch.
Sort of along those lines, shot hasn't really been falling consistently for Lou this season, but you know, obviously those are shots that he needs to take within your guys' system. Can you kind of just speak to the confidence that you have in him and also just the teammates as well?
Yeah, I mean, those guys have a body of work of hitting shots and hitting big shots and shooting solid percentages over a large sample. So, you know, we're not going to overreact to, you know, the ball not going in. We'll overreact to bad shots, you know, bad process. But as long as they keep shooting the right ones, we hang in there. And, you know, Lou and Alex in particular are such impactful defenders that you want them out there regardless of whether or not the ball's going in. They just are great competitors. So it's, again, part of the 82-game nature of the season. I mean, you're never going to stay at an optimal level as an individual player. Your shooting's not going to, your team's not going to. It's about how you endure when you have some headwinds, and it's about the mentality you take to those challenges.
Where have you seen Chet make the biggest strides as a scorer this year?
I think twofold. The first one is I think he's strengthened his foundation as a player. You know, the best guys that can score night after night after night, there's like fixed income that they're getting every single night that's easy and that's reliable and it's always there. And I think his commitment to that, his strength, you know, has helped with that, with some of the rebounds and some of the stuff around the basket. And then I think he just continues to get better with his skills, you know, and evolve his game. But, you know, the best guys offensive guys have a certain base, and then they've got the stuff on top of that. And I think he's starting to form into that. I think we're starting to see that with him.
Anyone else for Coach?
Yep, thanks.